Okay, hello. It's always a nice time, always been here to have conversations. Welcome to Better Meet series with Nkechi, and it's a beautiful time out to have another interesting conversation. How have you guys been? How are you doing? I totally love all of your comments, all of your questions. And I'm happy that you're able to pick one or two stuff that I talk about here and apply it to your personal life and being able to experience such levels of growth, levels of peace. That is exciting for me and I totally love it. So please keep engaging me. Keep engaging me. I love it. I love your comments. I love your questions. I do. Okay, so for today, I will be talking about something someone asked me, a couple of days ago about boundaries and how important is boundaries to our personal life. And I said, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's one of the foundational block for personal growth. I believe that if you truly care about yourself and if you truly love yourself and if you truly believe in building you up, you need to understand the importance of personal boundaries. It's the key to self-love because when you love you, you will place boundaries and that will help you build better relationship, that will help people better interaction and better communication. So what is boundaries? Those are personal limits that you set for yourself because you love yourself enough to put those limits there, and especially when it comes to interacting with other people. That is what I call personal boundaries. All right. So there are different types of boundaries that you need to initiate. Trust me, you need to do that if you believe in growing and becoming better as a person. So, one personal boundaries that I feel everyone should put in place is physical boundaries. We sometimes think that when you love somebody, you have to be in their face 247. You have to be in their in their space 247, or they have to be in yours 247. I don't think so. I think when you love somebody, there is a time and a place you have to respect their physical space because we all need physical space. We all need space to be by ourselves sometimes. It's so key, it's so important. How do you refuel if you don't have your me time? So when you initiate physical boundaries, you're telling yourself that I love myself, I respect myself enough to take care of me and put me first. When you initiate physical boundaries, you're telling the other person that, look, I care about you, I love you, but you must respect that I need space. I need time away from you. I want to refuel. I love my me time. It is so key. It's so important to learn how to initiate physical boundaries. Now, another interesting boundary that you should initiate is emotional boundaries. I am very emotional. I am an emotional person. And so I love when people respect my emotions. I love when I feel in a certain way and you may not like it, you may not accept it, but you respect that is how I feel at this time and you acknowledge how I feel. So you need to teach others how to respect your emotions. When you are not in the right space up here or here and you voice it, let people know at this point I can't deal with this issue right now because of the way I feel. This is how I feel and I need you to respect how I feel for now. Perhaps give me time, think through it, or get over it. So you need to teach people how to respect your emotional boundaries. The next boundary is intellectual boundaries. We are at a time where everyone is voicing their opinion, especially on social media. Everyone wants to voice how they feel, what they feel. It's good. It's fantastic. So you have to learn to teach people that, hey, look, this is how I feel on this issue. My opinion should count. My voice should count. How I see an issue should count. My perception, my perspective to an issue should count. And you also have to learn to also respect people's intellectual boundaries. So we need to get to the point where you are able to say the things you want to say and stick by it and own your truth and teach others to respect your truth. It's so key. All right? So that is what I call intellectual boundaries. Now, another boundary is time boundaries. Time, like someone says, money, but I don't see it that way. But time is so important and it's so key in our daily activities, in our daily life. So I kind of feel that when it comes to time boundaries, people need to respect your time. You are on time about an issue. This is the time I can give for this. It's at this time I can converse. It's at this time I can, think. So let people understand you have time boundaries. You don't just log into me whenever you want. You have to ask me, is this time suitable? Is this time okay? Is this time available? You also have to learn to respect other people's time boundaries as well. So when we begin to learn to understand each other's time boundaries, it builds for a better relationship and a better interaction. So time boundary is key. Another boundary is sexual boundaries. And this is one part we don't talk about. And I think it's so unfair not to have this conversation about sexual boundaries. We are all different. We all have our tastes, our preferences as regards sex and sexuality. But it's important that we have this conversation and say, hey, look, this is what my preference is as regards sex. This is my preference. We should be able to say it and voice it. This is what I can do, what I cannot do. We need to be able to establish sexual boundaries that will bring about much regard and much respect for each other. So when we activate all of these boundary blocks in our personal life, it brings about discipline, it brings about respect, it brings about self-love, and it brings about self-awareness. Because you know that somebody respects your time, your space, your emotions, your thoughts, your words. Fantastic. Now, the last but not the least boundary is verbal boundaries. Oh my God, that is so key and so fundamental. This one states that, hey, look, I do not condone verbal abuse. I don't condone it personally. I can't even stand it. I don't see why you should verbally insult me. So we should be able to communicate and express ourselves and not go into verbal fits of abuses. I think it's so unfair. So when you are that kind of person who understands that, hey, look, you can't just come into my space and verbally insult me, I won't condone that. Everyone will come to respect that this is something you don't want. And you also as well should not verbally abuse anybody or cross anyone's boundary verbally. So I believe, and I know that it is so key if we learn to respect each other as regards verbal expressions. So lay the boundaries clear. These are my boundaries when it comes to my personal life. And once you put that up, everyone knows how to better interact with you and how to better communicate with you because you have placed those boundaries. It is so key. Trust me. Well, thank you for sharing into my thoughts today on Better Me series with Nkechi. I totally love being here. So I'm hoping to hear your comments, your questions. Let me know how you feel. Let me hear your thoughts. Let's be more engaging. I love to read your comment. Please interact with me and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more conversation, because my intention is to help you become the best version of yourself. All Better Me series. See you again another time. Ciao.